Hello, welcome to the Searchlight podcast. We are talking about the price of desire. In today's episode, in a small village nestled between hills and forests, there lived a man named Leo. Leo was well known in the village for his charm and quick humor, which had earned him a large number of friends and admirers. However, Leo kept a dark secret. He had fallen deeply in love with his neighbor's wife, Nia. Nia was Loreen's wife, a hard-working and trustworthy guy who had always treated Leo with kindness and respect. Despite this, Leo's feelings for Nia became stronger with each passing day, and he began to devise a strategy to entice her away from Loreen. He knew it was terrible, yet he couldn't suppress the yearning that burning within him. One evening, Leo decided to act. He created a plan to harm Loreen's reputation, anticipating that if Nia saw her spouse in a negative light, she would turn to him for comfort. Leo propagated stories throughout the village, claiming Loreen was unfaithful and dishonest in his dealings. To his dismay, the locals, who knew Loreen well, refused to believe the unfounded allegations. Instead, they became suspicious of Leo's motives. Undeterred, Leo chose a more direct approach. He began showering Nia with compliments and small presents, hoping to win her heart. Nia, a woman with high moral standards, was polite but distant. She recognized Leo's intentions and remained totally committed to her husband. Frustrated with his lack of progress, Leo devised a final, desperate strategy. He would arrange for Loreen to leave the house for the entire night, during which he would make a spectacular declaration of his love for Nia. Leo fabricated a letter, supposedly to be from Loreen's distant relative, requesting immediate assistance in a nearby town. He slipped the letter under Loreen's door, knowing he would depart quickly. That night, when Leo approached Loreen and Nia's house, his heart was racing with excitement. He knocked on the door, practicing what he'd say to Nia. But when the door opened, it wasn't Nia standing there. It was Loreen. Leo's eyes widened in shock. "Leo," Loreen said calmly, "come inside." Leo hesitated, but he stepped through the doorway. Inside, he saw Nia sitting at the table, her expression a mix of sadness and disappointment. Loreen closed the door behind Leo and faced him. "Nia showed me the gifts and told me about your advances," Loreen began, "and today I found the letter you forged. I've always considered you a friend, Leo. Why would you do this?" Leo's face flushed with shame. He stammered, searching for an excuse, but he found none. He had no defense for his actions, and he knew it. I'm sorry," Leo finally said, his voice barely a whisper. "I was wrong. I let my feelings cloud my judgment." Loreen nodded slowly. "We all make mistakes, Leo, but trying to destroy another's happiness for your own gain is never the answer. Nia and I have talked, and we forgive you. But you must leave this village. It's the only way for us to heal and for you to find a better path." With a heavy heart, Leo left the village the next day. As he walked away from the place he had called home, he couldn't help but reflect on Loreen's words and the verse that had been etched in his memory from his childhood. "Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless, for to this you were called, that you may obtain a blessing." Leo wandered from village to village, seeking work and reflecting on the choices he had made. He took on humble jobs and helped those in need, slowly rebuilding his life. One day, in a distant town, he met an elderly man named Sean, who took him in and taught him carpentry. Under Sean's guidance, Leo learned not only a trade, but also the value of hard work, honesty, and respect for others. Years passed, and Leo became a respected carpenter in his new community. He was known for his skill and generosity, always willing to help those less fortunate. He never forgot the lesson he had learned in his old village, and he lived by the words that had once haunted him. One evening, while working late in his shop, a traveller knocked on Leo's door. To his surprise, it was Laureen. The years had changed them both, but the recognition was immediate. "I heard about the good you have been doing here," Laureen said, extending his hand. "I wanted to see it for myself and tell you that we are proud of the man you've become." Leo shook Laureen's hand, a sense of peace washing over him. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "Your words mean more than you know." As they sat and talked, Leo felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He had found redemption and peace, not through seeking his desires at the expense of others, but through living a life of integrity and kindness. He had learned the true meaning of the verse that had guided him, and he knew that he had finally obtained the blessing it promised. "Thou shalt not steal from thy neighbour," Leo whispered to himself as he watched the sun set, feeling a deep sense of fulfilment and contentment. As we wrap up this episode, always remember, do not pay others back evil for evil or insult for insult. Instead, keep blessing them because you were called to inherit a blessing.